And if we allow weaponization in this country, our government towards our people, our taxpayers, our citizens, we are going to fall as a country. We're not going to make it. And we're on thin ice as it is with all the debt we have. But we've got to protect the people of this country. We didn't, if the people are complaining about this, I'll say this. They didn't hesitate one time to send hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine, but they're complaining about $1.5 billion for this. It doesn't make sense to me. This is all personal towards President Trump. I don't think they have anything to do with this other than a lot of them just don't like President Trump. They don't like the way he's governing. They don't like the way he's attacking some of the senators that have been there for a long time, some of the friends in there. But you can't make it personal. We better go back to work and get this done because the American people are counting on us.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. And today we want to talk about this weaponized fund that the rhinos, I'd call them rhinos, but you could also call them warmongers. You can call them whatever you want. They're the ones that are upset over this weaponized fund being $1.8 billion and who would be going to. And you have Ted Cruz and others that are losing their mind over this, and they want something done about it that's different than what they have right now when it comes to infrastructure of it.
Yeah, I think Tommy Tuberville right there was exactly right. They'll spend a couple of $1 billion on anything, and yet, to reimburse January 6th folks, that's just off limits. We'd appreciate if you like, share, and subscribe. It's a huge boost to the channel.
It's the biggest congressional rebuke of President Trump's second term.
I just don't know how this puppy dog will work. I think there were 6 or 7 people who were going to vote no.
Republicans were on the verge of finally ending the ICE and Border Patrol funding impasse.
The sole reason we are here today is because Democrats refuse to fund law enforcement at the Department of Homeland Security.
But the president's $1.8 billion compensation fund killed the bill.
There are a lot of questions about it. I have Republican colleagues who have concerns about who can receive funding from that fund.
A meeting between Senate Republicans and Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche failed to convince lawmakers to oppose bipartisan amendments curbing the fund.
This is about a profoundly corrupt plan by the president, and I think my Republican colleagues have reached their limit.
Thune said the compensation fund, quote, makes everything way harder than it should be. Deadlocked, GOP congressional leaders sent lawmakers home until June.
So this afternoon, Republicans, so divided, so dysfunctional, so disorganized, are fleeing Washington. Their majority can't melt down fast enough.
Some presidential allies defended the compensation fund.
Feel comfortable that been wronged by their government should have some sort of redress.
And even though the president recently steamrolled opponents politically, Republicans blocked him legislatively.
Congress has our obligation to make sure we know what we're funding and fund the government to a reasonable expectation line.
Congress never approved the fund, and lawmakers balked at awarding claims to Capitol rioters. President Trump wanted ICE and Border Patrol funded by June 1st, but Congress missed that deadline. Brett?
And Chad, quickly, how long could this take?
Probably weeks. They want to try this again in June, but guess what? They have to fund FISA. They have to deal with that. They have to maybe roll all those things together. This could be another 5-6 weeks.
Wow. Chad Perkin live.
This is yet another symptom of Congress being completely broken. I thought Schumer's comments were funny. I mean, his party is the one that is in complete disarray, and yet he would never miss an opportunity to say something negative about Republicans. Look, we talked about this yesterday and made the point that Matt and I think there should be some limits on who could get this money and for what reason. But there were people that experienced lawfare that were punished harshly, whose lives were destroyed. Out of all the things we spend money on, I do not have a problem compensating people like the January 6th prisoners, that some of them were held for over 4 years. What did you think, Matt?
Well, when it comes to what Schumer said, I actually completely agree with them. I think they are unorganized. They can't agree on anything. That's the reason nothing passes. That includes the SAVE Act, which should be easy to pass when you have 80% of the nation agreeing with it. Okay. When it comes to this, the problem is you're including everything together. FISA, the border, and this fund. Put them in separate bills and let them stand on their own. And then you can actually determine what's going to win and what's going to lose. The fact is, the border security should easily pass. And I think putting the FISA and putting also this bill here when it has to do with the weaponized fund is what actually killed the bill completely. I'm more worried about the border right now and keeping that secure more than I am about the weaponized bill or even FISA. I want FISA dead anyway. And then when it comes to the weaponized bill, you need to actually do some repair on that and get the Republicans on your side. And like I said, he needs to do more actually talking to them and convincing them that this needs to happen. And also put precautions like you talked about, make sure that certain people can't do fraudulent claims on it. Now, guys, in this next video we have, the Democrats are actually planning what they're going to do if this thing actually passes. Let's check out the video.
So first, can this fund be created and dispersed without congressional approval?
Look, that's a question that we are going to be pushing and pushing also through the court system. It's why Jamie Raskin is taking a lead also on legislation, of which surprisingly there are more and more Republicans that seem actually interested in actually taking on Trump on this issue. And then the piece that Oversight's looking at is we're going to make it very clear that anyone that takes a cent from this fund, we are going to investigate why, how, and if there's been any sort of coordination. It is crazy that we're going to sit here and allow Donald Trump to steal the American taxpayer dollar and then give it away to his friends, election deniers, people that attacked the Capitol, and God knows who else. Of all the corrupt, horrific things that Donald Trump has done, I mean, this is at or near the top of the list. And it's refreshing to at least see some Republicans actually denounce this. And what we're saying is, Speaker Johnson, Leader Thune, this is an opportunity for you to actually do the right thing and finally stand up to this rogue authoritarian president.
I think that dude is smoking crack. He was totally fine sending hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine, but to do something decent for people who were mistreated? No, he's not arguing like you and I are, that there needs to be a written provisions for who qualifies for the money. He's arguing that the president is rogue and should never give this money out. To me, it's crazy.
Really, what he's trying to say is the president's doing this to help his friends, and that's it. It's a quid quo, I guess, the best way to put it. And this is how I'm looking at it. I think we need to actually have limits on who gets it, who doesn't. And also the other thing that I'm looking into that, first thing, the Democrats facilitate fraud all over the country. If you don't believe it, look at what's going on in Minnesota, California, and everywhere else that they're arresting these people that are doing this fraud when it comes to Medicaid, Medicare, and food stamps. And then when you think about what else he's saying, he's pretty much indicating anyone that takes a cent from this, we're going to investigate you and we're going to put you in jail for fraud. That's what he's saying, especially if they have control of the House and Senate or if they have control of the presidency as well. So really what's becoming in the long run, if it passes, in my opinion, it's going to be weaponized against the people who actually try to get funds from it. And that's why I'm looking at it. I'm like this, look, you might as well just forget about this.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if I would say forget about it, but maybe there's a different method that could be used to reimburse some of the people who were really taken advantage of by our government over the riot at the Capitol, or like I like to call it, like trespassing.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but the thing is, you got to look at it and realize they're going to weaponize it any way they can. You might have to go to private contractors to do something like this and private means and get it out of government. That might be the best way to do it. Have the communities get involved and actually donate money to help these people instead of getting the government. Because it looks like to me, the Democrats are going to do what they always do and weaponize it against Trump and his supporters. But guys, this is the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed. Please hit that like button, comment, and share this out to everybody.
Thanks for being with us.